All right, guys, it's true crime time again. I'm Ryan Nix,
And I'm Taylor Lynch.
and we're your hosts for Pure Malice, a true crime podcast.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Everybody in the club getting record. Oh. Well, hello.
Hello.
All right. Sorry, y'all. We had to have a little pause right there. So we're back.
We're back.
We are magicians.
Something like that.
Ta-da! New outfit. Same lovely personalities, though.
On Cribs, where Mariah Carey changes outfits like 10 times. Oh, that says how old I am. Cribs, MTV Cribs.
Well, whenever you said Cribs, all I could think was Pimp My Ride.
I loved Pimp My Ride. That was a good one, too.
Oh, it's something about those spinners. Loved them.
All the things.
I had basketball shoes that were spinners, too.
So did I.
I don't remember what they were called.
Who knows?
I'm going to have to Google them.
Oh, I found them. Okay, so it was Dada Spreewell spinners. Those were the shoes.
I had the black and pink ones. I had the white and pink ones. I had the black and gold ones.
Mine were always orange.
Oh, yeah, you had the orange and white ones and the orange and black ones.
Yep, always orange.
We were.
Yeah, they were popular. They were
pretty
a thing, guys.
We were pretty hot.
Yeah, for sure. Our parents, they called me and asked me to walk them through because, you know, Dad uses YouTube. Thank you, Chase.
Shout out to the real MVP of the family, Chase.
Yeah, they went through and watched all of our YouTube videos
Mom was like playing it the other day.
and saw the one about Dad, and they watched the one about you can't unsee it. And Dad was laughing. He thought it was funny. And Mom's like, where did you come up with this? And I was like, Mom, we shared stories. We exchanged stories about walking in on you guys. And she's like, y'all never did that. I was like, yes, we did. It's
I can
burned in
tell
our
you.
memory.
I can tell you what house.
All the things. Okay. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, today we are continuing our coverage of the Slenderman stabbings with part 2. But before we get started, in case you need a refresher, here it is. In part 1, we went over how an online creepypasta character spiraled into a real-world obsession for 2 teenage girls in Wisconsin. And I say teenage, but I actually mean preteen because they were only 12 years old. We went over how a typical and innocent friendship turned into an attempted murder case. We walked you through all of their plans because, yes, there were plans, and some of those plans were highly sophisticated for 12-year-olds. We went over each of the girls' mental diagnosis and what the courts decided to do with them. And that leads us into where we are starting off today. So, Taylor, take it away.
All right. So, both girls made appeals. Anissa's legal team argued that she should have never been tried in adult court. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Anyways, they said that her mental state, age, and susceptibility meant that she belonged fully in the juvenile court. So, she appealed her conviction, appealed the court jurisdiction, appealed the length of her commitment, and at one point, she even appeared saying she was no longer dangerous.
Don't believe it.
After, I remind you, they were talking about how they were going to kill her.
Literally planned it out.
Back and forth before we went all, hey, hello, kitty on your, you know what.
Yep.
So those early appeals, all of them were denied.
Woo!
But in 2021, she filed again. This time, she argued that after years of treatment, therapy, and psychiatric stability, she deserved to be released at this point. Now, this time, the court agreed. So, in September of 2021, after 7 years, mind you, only 7 for attempted murder, premeditated attempted murder.
And just a quick reminder here, guys, that if they had been tried as juveniles, they would have only had to do 6 years inside of the mental institution. So this was only 1 year longer than if she had been tried as a juvenile instead of an adult.
But once again, at a mental institution. Not any prison jail time, not even juvenile jail. So, after 7 years at that secured psychiatric facility, Anissa was granted a conditional release. She was moved into the community, but did have strict supervision. So she had to have a GPS monitor. She was mandated to therapy, no contact whatsoever with Morgan, no contact whatsoever with Peyton. She wasn't allowed to have internet access without approval. And then here's the wild part. She actually disappears from public record. So Anissa just poof, gone. And it was intentionally.
Absolutely, it was.
So the system allowed her identity and location to be shielded for her own safety, which totally makes sense, because regardless of what we think of her actions, the public backlash was definitely next level.
It really was, and it made her release that much more complicated. It's one of those situations where you genuinely have to step back and try to see it from both sides. I mean, normally we'd expect, that adult records are accessible. But because this case sparked such an intense and long lasting reaction, the system had to weigh transparency against the possibility of retaliation. And even if it wasn't necessarily a perfect solution, they made the call that they felt would keep everyone safest.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying I agree with this because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think, especially, like, if I think about it from my stance as a parent, like,
Exactly.
if at this point, they were 12, so
That means that Anissa was 19 when she was released. Yeah, so think about if your 19-year-old was sitting in a college course.
yeah, like, they're working a job at wherever,
Mm-hmm.
like, they have the right to know. For me, it's no different than, like, a pedophile. You should have to register.
I agree.
Like, I don't think that's necessarily fair for the public, like, the community.
Yep.
But, whatever.
I do actually agree with you on this.
Oh, look, we're in agreement.
Mhm.
Doesn't happen in our family often.
Depends on the day.
Oh, it depends on the sister.
Well, I guess, yeah, and the sister.
Anyways,
Anyway.
any hoosers?
So while Anissa was being released, Morgan was filing appeals of her own. But her situation was different because unlike Anissa, sorry if y'all hear my dog, he's
howling.
he likes the podcast, man. So anyways, so her situation was different because unlike Anissa, Morgan was diagnosed with early onset schizophrenia. Her delusions weren't just influenced, they were internally generated. So in these appeals, her attorneys argued that she had improved. Medication stabilized her, she had insight into her diagnosis, and she no longer posed a threat to anyone. But yeah,
here's my thing. Like, I understand, like, if you were undiagnosed, untreated, all the things.
mm-hmm.
But my problem is, as a child, she learned in a psychiatric facility about her condition
Mm-hmm.
and how to manage it. But we haven't tested the waters of if she will stay managed and because there's it's just like,
With her own freedom.
yeah, like, you have a lot of choice, and yeah, like, and you know what can happen if she's not managed.
Yeah.
If medication wise she is not managed or managing it herself,
Mm-hmm.
she's never had that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my problem with it.
And that really is a huge problem. If you've never been responsible for taking care of yourself in all of those ways, that's a big adjustment. So,
Well, and on top of that, you're going into, a society that's totally different that you didn't, most people navigate like their high school years and going into like early adulthood, whether that's college or
Yep.
work or whatever. You're learning life lessons through that. But like, you've been and y'all can hate on me all you want for this, but you have been very sheltered
uh-huh.
in this psychiatric or behavioral health institution, like, which is great. You're getting the care and the help you need.
However,
but there's too many buts about that scenario for me to be okay with it.
yeah, and I think you're right here too. I mean, you might get some hate, but I think some people also agree with you.
Yeah.
So the judge denied it. several times. And for a while, it looked like Morgan might remain institutionalized for decades, possibly into her late 50s. But as you probably know, the case doesn't end here.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Something changed, and in 2023 and 2024, multiple independent psychiatric evaluators reported that Morgan's condition had substantially improved. The court ordered more testing, more interviews, more reports, and eventually they agreed that Morgan qualified for conditional release.
I mean, okay, I still don't agree fully with it, but I guess conditional release is better than just straight up, do what you want to do. I don't know. I have like mixed emotions because it's like, okay, if somebody's going to get the opportunity to get out after what they did, like, then give them a real opportunity, but keep close tabs and eyes on it.
Which is what this is.
But
essentially.
at the same time, like a life, a very young life. And I get like she did not pass away from that.
But she could have easily, and she still suffered a mass amount of trauma and all of these other life-altering things.
Yeah, like the trauma, like the fact of what they were trying to do is the issue for me. Like you were trying to kill her in a horrific little way.
Yeah. But releasing her wasn't as simple as signing papers. With her conditional release, it meant that she was no longer to be kept behind locked doors in the mental hospital. But she wasn't free in the traditional sense. There were strict conditions. She was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor and had curfews, therapy, medication, compliance rules, routine check-ins, plus zero contact with anyone in the case.
But also you can get away with things.
You can. But, where am I now? Where am I now? Oh, I lost my spot on the paper.
And it wasn't easy to find placement for her.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah. So for Morgan,
Man, we really do sing a lot.
I know. I sing all the time, though. Do you sing all the time normally? Or is it just on the show?
I feel like it's just here. I feel like I sing a lot when it's you and Brittany. And I say, what do I say a lot? I don't know.
Dude.
Man.
Yeah,
I say man all the time. I don't say dude so much, but I do say man. And Chase will be like, oh yeah, all right, man. All right, man. And I'm like,
that's what Kat does to
and he's
me.
like, y'all are so annoying. He's like, oh, okay, man. Okay. And he's like, he thinks he's so cool mimicking us. And I'm like, I don't even realize I do it. But it's like, okay, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. It wasn't easy to find placement for Morgan. Many facilities refused to take her, so there was pushback. And at one point, her release was delayed because the proposed group home was too close to Peyton's family.
I feel like that's fair.
Yeah, it was a valid reason. Sorry about you.
And I'll say, once again, this is like Wisconsin.
Yes.
So I don't know how many group homes they have, but in Texas, there's really not that many like actual group homes that are certified. Because like these homes actually have to be certified. They have to have some sort of like licensure and they have to be like maintained and managed by specific people that they have to have in place. They have to be managed a certain way and
how they're structured. Other concerns were raised by the state about her reading choices. She was reportedly reading a novel with very dark themes, and she'd had contact with a man outside of the facility who was strangely fixated on her case.
I think it's so weird. It's like they're into their crimes too. I think it's so odd.
It is, and something is wrong with these people too.
I get that you're telling me through a phone call or a letter, they seem like the nicest people ever, but like when they've done these horrific, and it's even stranger to me when it's like the people who they've done it over and over, and then you look at these people that they're attracted to or attracted, and it's like you fit the type of person that they would target. Anyways, crazy.
It is. Still, a judge ultimately approved the conditional release in mid-2025, this year. The court believed she had maximized her treatment options and no longer posed a clear threat based on the expert testimony. So, in January of 2025, Morgan was transferred from the psychiatric hospital into a supervised group home.
Mm.
As you can imagine, people were seriously divided on this. This isn't a simple rehabilitated teenager story. The victim's family was understandably worried. And some people argued that she deserved to remain locked up, while others believed that she could reintegrate safely, especially with a supervision plan. Mental health advocates pointed to how much she'd grown, but critics raised valid fears. What if she regressed? What if she reoffends?
Well, I feel like that's all valid, but with that, there's also like a moral panic question. Is this the internet? Is it manifesting in real life now?
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about Slender Man, it started online in a forum as an image, a viral story, but here we go. People taking it and making it reality and using it to hurt others and using it as like their justification to hurt others.
Yep.
These things change people's lives forever. And then, of
Mhm.
course, media comes in and spotlights it, and that makes it harder.
It does.
And then, only weeks into her release, it happened.
Sure did.
So on Saturday night, November 22nd of 2025, the monitoring company receives an alert. A bracelet malfunction.
Mm.
Except, guess what?
It wasn't a malfunction.
It was not a malfunction. Morgan cut off her ankle monitor, according to the Madison Police Department.
Mm.
So the staff checked her room, gone. She was gone.
And guess what else?
She wasn't alone. So cameras captured her walking away with a 42-year-old man, so someone double her age,
Yes.
that she had recently been communicating with. So for hours, there was no signs of her. Authorities issued advisories and the public went crazy, just full-blown panic mode. They notified Peyton's family that she was missing from her group home. Her attorney, Tony Cotton, later posted a plea for her to turn herself in on Instagram. So it's got to be bad if your attorney is coming at you like, hey, come on, turn yourself in, come back to us.
Right.
Like, come on. And he was saying that he didn't know exactly what happened or, if someone helped her escape. But nonetheless, he was like, hey, come on, come back to us.
One of Kat's friends, hey, Katie.
Hey, girl, hey.
Shout out. Said that her parents live right around the corner from where this attack actually took place. And she said that as a kid, she used to play at that exact same park.
Ooh.
Small world, And while I'm talking about her, I want to mention her food truck. It is called The Lunchbox, and she is located in North Carolina. So if you're around that area, check it out.
So then, nearly 170 miles away, Morgan was found at a truck stop in Posen, Illinois. So a whole different state, mind you.
Yes.
A whole different. So we crossed a state line. So she was, at this truck stop in Posen, Illinois with this man that was captured in the video.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Chad Mecca. So the police asked her name and she gave them a fake one. Then she says, just Google me.
Chills. Absolute chills.
What?
No, thank you. I just
Why?
don't like the answer.
I'd be like, okay, what name do I need to Google? Come on now. Anyways, so she and the man, they were taken into custody, and the police investigated whether he helped her escape and why. So the court at this point immediately revoked her release, and she was transported back to a psychiatric facility. And then Mecca was charged with criminal trespassing and obstructing identification. He since has been released.
I'm so glad that they actually did charge him with something and arrested him because you know what you did, you know who you're with.
Yep. At this point, the judge ruled that Morgan will not, I repeat,
Will not.
be eligible for release again for years and possibly decades. So authorities have noted they're investigating whether she left voluntarily or if there was something more nefarious. For example, did somebody help her?
Mm-hmm.
Talk her into it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe helped her. I don't know about talking her into it, but definitely helped. So as of her capture...
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, Mr. Mecca. So as of her capture in Illinois, she is back in custody. But this isn't just a she ran away, they caught her, case closed kind of narrative. There are more layers here. First, the fact that she was a monitor release in the first place, that conditional release decision is now under even more scrutiny. Can someone who committed such a violent, delusional crime really be safely reintegrated? What should the balance be between accountability and mental illness treatment? Second, the way that the system handled her supervision is being questioned. The ankle monitor did alert, but she cut it off. Was there adequate oversight? Should there have been more checks on the group home? Third, there's a public safety question. If she can remove her monitor and flee, what does that say about her risk level? And are the mechanisms in place to prevent this from happening again, either with her or with someone like her?
For me, it leads into another question. You have this person who, at the age of 12, used a knife to commit a heinous crime,
Mm-hmm.
and you're allowing them these sharp objects, scissors, knife, whatever it is,
Yeah.
where they choose to cut off their surveillance knowingly, and then they have access to said sharp weapons and items.
Unknown people. And then there's the deeper issue of belief.
Yeah. Is Slenderman still fictional for her?
Yeah.
For Morgan and Anissa, the belief was real enough to drive them initially to violence.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to treat that? Is it still just a childhood delusion? Is this now a mental health diagnosis? Is this a product of glamorizing online horror? Or is it a combination of all the things?
It's a cautionary tale about how myths
Especially internet myths.
don't stay online.
Yep.
For vulnerable minds, they can become dangerously real.
Yeah.
So, what are our takeaways? For me, one of the biggest is the responsibility of the system as a whole. They tried to treat her, they evaluated her, doctors believed she improved. But was the release plan strong enough? Did the system underestimate what freedom might really look like for her?
Well, and I think that really falls on the justice system in general. Like, I just think that mental health is one major aspect of this case. But I think that in this case specifically, the perpetrators were failed in a way, not just the perpetrators, but also getting Peyton the justice that she deserved. Like,
Right.
there's more to it than just the mental health side of things. There's also your moral compass. What is ethical and right, and like choosing to do what is ethical and right versus choosing something that may have consequences and not having to fulfill said consequences because all of a sudden the only thing we're worried about is mental health aspect of this case.
Right. And that's where the moral tension comes in here.
Exactly. She was a child when she committed the crime. I get that. But on the other side, that was real violence. It was an extreme case. And that can't be ignored. Like, that puts other people at a true risk
Yeah.
with you being out.
And it raises questions about how society handles young people who commit very serious acts under the influence of a mental illness.
I just think that there should be some other way to decipher if somebody can truly manage themselves prior to,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's also the cultural component. The Slender Man myth was born online,
Mm-hmm.
grew into like this global folklore, and she believed in him so deeply. Really, both the girls did.
Yeah, they both did.
They believed in him so deeply that they would kill over it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a reminder, like, the internet isn't just a playground. It is a space that fantasies can merge and become delusions.
Absolutely. And then there's the accountability. She's not a kid anymore. Her escape shows she's willing to push back against boundaries. How do we hold someone accountable and treat them with the care that a serious mental illness requires? I mean, there's no easy answer here.
Yep. For the victim, Peyton, I just keep going back and thinking about her.
It's hard not to.
She survived such a brutal attack, and now the main perpetrator has escaped, has been recaptured, and the trauma that her and her family have been through, and now it's resurfaced. That's just a cycle that's deeply painful and complicated.
It is.
And there's just so many complexities that go into that, even with the coping process and the healing process.
All the things.
Yeah.
And I mean, we should always center Peyton in this narrative. her survival is nothing short of a miracle. And the fact that she's had to live through this again with Morgan's release and escape, I mean, that's something that we can't gloss over.
Yeah. So, speaking of Peyton, let's get into her. So, as you can imagine, she did struggle for a while after the attack. She actually slept with a pair of broken scissors under her pillow. And she did that for a long time. Her family said that there were family members that she just couldn't get close to.
Yeah,
And that she had a lot of trouble making new friends because
understandable.
she couldn't bring herself to trust anyone.
Yeah.
But she did work through her trauma and was known to be doing very well as of 2021. She said, while for obvious reasons, she did not want to have any communication with either Morgan or Anissa, that if she did speak with Morgan, she would thank her.
Mm.
She said to David Murr of ABC News, quote, "I would probably initially thank her. I would say just because of what she did, I have the life I have now. I really, really like it, and I have a plan. I didn't have a plan when I was, and I do now because of everything I went through."
Yeah.
So ABC News went on to report that Peyton's family was super proud of her and excited to see her next chapter of life. So, where is the survivor Peyton today?
Where is she?
So, Peyton has stayed extremely private and intentionally,
Mm-hmm.
but we do know that she's graduated high school and she attended college. She has experienced a desire for a normal life, and in an interview, she said that she's moved forward,
Good.
but will always carry scars physically and emotionally. And when asked what she wants for Morgan and Nissa, she said she just wants them far away. So that's where the case stands. Appeals made, releases granted, an escape, a recapture, and a survivor who continues to move forward.
As we wrap up here, I'm left thinking this case is more than just a true crime headline. It's a reflection of how mythology, mental health, childhood, and the internet collide with very real consequences. Morgan Geyser's story is far from over. Her escape and recapture remind us that even a carefully laid release plan can be flawed, especially whenever someone's delusions or mental illnesses are deeply rooted. But it also forces us to reckon with the bigger questions. Can treatment truly heal? Can redemption truly occur with or without mental health? And what do we do whenever the monster was never just a myth?
If you found this story as unsettling, but as important as we did, please share.
Please share it. If you want to go deeper, check our show notes. And if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, we'll link resources in the show notes as well.
And this is where we're going to leave you.
That's it for tonight,
you guys.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Taylor. And remember,
it's not just crime,
it's
pure malice.
We didn't even practice that, y'all.
We're just good like that. All right, we're done.
I feel like we need some jingle. It's like